you beautiful, beautiful 15 subscribers. This is Keep Chasing Me here, just bringing you a little bit of gameplay and tips and tricks on sniping that I've learned over the years at playing games, and 1 year of Destiny now. They will work in really any game. I'm just playing a lot of Destiny recently, so that's the gameplay I have, and I hope you guys enjoy it. You know, I really don't have a lot of experience with editing, but I am certain it will get better over time. So if you guys will bear with me and stick through it, it'll get better, promise. So, one of the most important things about sniping in Destiny is the rifle that you own. If you'll look at mine, I have got the short gaze on, which is a nice little close range scope. I also have Last Resort, which basically just makes your weapon handle faster. I also have Oiled Frame, which for some reason makes reload speed higher than speed reload, and Spray and Play. Now ideally you would want either the short gaze and the ambush with something like Hidden Hand and Unflinching. The other one really doesn't matter so much as long as Hidden Hand and either Snapshot or Quick Draw. The reason I say this is that no matter how good of a sniper you are, you can always benefit from a little extra aim assist, and these perks will go well on any rifle really. However, I would recommend the 1000-yard stare because it has a high enough impact to one-shot someone off of a res or a super, which is pretty convenient. Also, it has a high aim assist just in and of itself, but if you get the short gaze and the Hidden Hand perk, it will help tremendously, increasing that even more so. That being said, let's get into the actual sniping tips. So the first thing I have on my list to share with you guys is tracking. Unfortunately, I do not have any gameplay of this because it's not one I find myself using very often. Usually plays in at longer ranges. It's basically where you see a dude, usually running, and you take your time and line up a nice shot and then squeeze the trigger. Nothing much to it. So the next thing I have, which you will see at the end of this clip, is pre-head leveling. This is extremely useful for absolutely everything. Basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your sights and you're going to line them up right at where the head level would be. The reason you're going to do this is because if someone comes around that corner, you're ready. All you're going to have to do then is make a quick adjustment, either left or right, and nail them. So with this clip, I'm actually going to be showing you two things. First one is your body movement and theirs, like you just saw. Because sometimes, especially at range, it is a lot easier for you to move your body than it is your joystick and then risk an over adjustment on your scope. And also, sometimes it's easier to let them move into it and you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is wait for the right time to pull the trigger. So the next thing I have for you guys is double body shotting. There is no shame in going for a double body shot rather than a headshot because sometimes, especially at ranges again, it is much easier than getting a headshot because you have to be so precise for that. But if you go for a double body shot, you have a much larger target that you just have to hit twice. So you end up being a lot more efficient. Next up is corner scoping, and you're basically going to pair this up with the pre-head leveling. What you're going to want to do, which you'll see here in a second, is aim your sniper rifle before you go around a corner, and while you are still scoped, keep it at roughly head level and walk around that corner. That way you can get the drop on anyone who's on that other side. This will go extremely well with the next item on our list, which is crouch sniping. That's not necessarily just crouching with your scope, or with your sniper out rather, but it can also mean that you wait for them to line up a shot and then crouch. It can really screw people up. Because honestly, I cannot tell you how many times that I have crouched and then witnessed a bullet go straight over my head. It's pretty satisfying. Again, there's a quick example of crouch corner scoping. So next up is a quick little close quarters sniping tip. You'll see right there, miss the shot, pull out the primary, finish him off. That's exactly what you're going to want to do. It's pretty easy. I mean, you know, it's just a nice little backup, so if you do miss your shot, you've got a little extra thing to make up for it. And that's it. So next up is a counter sniping tip, which can be rather hard if you don't know what you're doing, but that's my job, is to help you guys out. So that's what I'm gonna do. In a minute here, you'll see it go down. I'm gonna pull out my ghost, see a shot go by. So I know I need to find him. Don't worry about taking a shot yet, but I need to find that scope glare and find him. I see him, take the shot. So now you know what I did. But let me break it down just a little bit into more generic steps. What you're going to want to do is, if you know there's an enemy sniper, what you're going to want to do is do everything you can do to screw up their aim. Like jump in air, shade step, blink, whatever you have to screw up their aim while still being able to find their scope glare and then take them out once you see that scope glare. So you've taken one enemy down. You know your teammates are watching the sides for you and they'll let you know if they need any help. But for right now, your job is to watch the ghost. Now, more than likely all of you know how to do this, but just in case, all you're gonna have to do is look at the ghost, get your sights set on pre-head level like I described earlier, and take the shot once he's in normal state. It's as easy as that. So now on to a little bit of decision making. There's one person down, and you're not sure if you should focus on that ghost and make sure that that dude stays down, or if you should go for the person getting the res. My advice to you would be look at the ghost's positioning. If it's wide open and you're confident that you can acquire a target fast, go ahead and try and get the guy that's getting the res. And then if he does end up getting the res, then you are easily able to take out the second one. However, it's a bit of a risk-reward thing, because if you do end up hitting both of them, then your team has a huge advantage. However, if you miss either, then you risk having two enemies up instead of one. The next thing I have for you guys is drag scoping. Unfortunately, there aren't really any tips I can give you on this. This will only come with experience of the game. But basically what it is your scope is in one place and you drag the scope across the screen and rely on your trigger finger to pull the trigger at the right time so that your reticle is across their head when it needs to be. Next up is 1v1 zoning. Basically, this means that every situation you encounter will end up being a 1v1 no matter how many people are actually on the map. You'll see here in a minute what I mean. If you look here, there is a wall in between me and the enemies. So what I do is I zone the targets so that I can only see one at a time and they can not see me unless I'm looking at them, which gives me a huge advantage. So let me clarify just a little bit. 1v1 zoning is where you're keeping an obstacle in between you and the enemies. That obstacle is what's going to be your fulcrum, to say. You're going to manipulate yourself around that obstacle so that they can only see you when you want them to see you, allowing you to line up a shot much faster than they can. This will give you a huge advantage in any times when there's more than one person against just you. 1v1 zoning ties directly into my next point, which is 1v3 choke points. This is especially useful in Trials of Osiris and any elimination game mode. But if you look at the gameplay on the screen, each one of these scenarios was pretty much a 1v1 because of the zoning. So now on to 1v3 choke points. This can be a crucial thing in any Trials of Osiris or elimination game. What you want to do is get yourself into a nice area, usually a corner, that funnels enemies into one place but at the same time has good escape routes for you to leave. This is one of my favorite ones. It's on Thieves' Den. The reason I like it is because you can zone targets very easily. Alright guys, I know the video was a little bit long and it was pretty choppy and reused a few videos, but I mean, I hope you guys don't mind. As of my montage, I had absolutely zero editing experience at all whatsoever. This one probably took me about 5.5 to 6 hours to make, so I hope you guys enjoyed it and it helped you out. If it did, please leave a like, subscribe to our channel, really helps us out. But in the meantime, this is Keep Chasing Me, signing off.